Hi everyone, welcome to the valeting shop, the valeting guy and gal. Today and the next 3 days we're going to be doing a full detail paint correction and 5-year ceramic coating on this beautiful 1991 Porsche 911. So what we're going to do, we're going to give it a full deep clean first, 3-stage safe wash, pre-wash, snow foam, then a full touch wash. It's going to have a full decontamination, so you have tar removal, then fallout spray to remove all the ferrous fallout that's on the vehicle, and then it's going to have a clay bar, and then it'll be re-washed, taken inside, we'll get it dried, then we're going to inspect the paint, have a look at how much defects are on the paint, thickness of the paint. I know various parts of this car have been resprayed through to smart repairs or repair damage from accidents. I've had a quick look at the paint, and the rear side and the driver's side paint is particularly thin, but we'll go through it again once it's been washed, and we'll catch up with you then. Right, so she's inside now. She's been fully washed, decontaminated and dried. We've brought her inside. What we're going to do now is just going to have a quick look at the paint before we get it up on axle stands, get the wheels off, and we can wash the wheels, give them a deep clean. So if you want to come in and have a look at the paint with this little inspection light. Now we know that this bonnet has been resprayed and repaired. So if you look at the swirls, you can see that they're fairly round. But as you come over to this side, the paint gets harder and the swirls become slightly more straight line. And if you come into here, where we know this has definitely had a repair, the swirls are pretty bad, but they're also quite straight. So that indicates that the paint on this side is fairly hard. It's going to be quite tough to work with, but we'll still go in light first of all, and then go in heavier and heavier as we go. So if you come around to the driver's side, where we know it's not been repaired and this is original paint. So if we have a look on here, you can see the swirls are extremely round and extremely bountiful. There's a lot of them on there. So that indicates that on this side, there's a lot of marring, swirling and holograms. So that indicates that on this side of the car, the paint is extremely soft. And when we looked at do a few measurements, it is extremely thin as well. So this side is going to be heart in the mouth, going very, very carefully, very, very slowly to make sure we don't burn through. so we're going to ceramic the wheels now, but we need to, although we've cleaned them, we need to degrease them. So we're using Geon Prep, which is an alcohol-based degreaser. So we spray that on the wheels and we just get a clean microfiber and wipe them off. And that way we can ensure it's a completely clean surface for the ceramic to bed into. Right, so the wheels are now prepped, ready to go to have the ceramic put on them. The ceramic we're using is the Carbon Collective Platinum wheels. So that should last a couple of years. And we're going to use these little pads to put the ceramic on. So we'll just put a few drops onto the pad. Make sure it's nicely coated. And then we just run around, make sure we cover the whole of the alloy. Get some more in there. And then once these are coated, they'll cure for the next 12 hours or so, and then they'll be ready to put back onto the car. And once they're all coated, the ceramic starts to bond straight away. So you leave them for 30 seconds to a minute, depending on the temperature. It's quite warm today, so I won't leave them that long. And then you just buff off the residue. And that's the first wheel coated. Okay, so I've gone around the car now and measured the depth of the paint all the way around, and we've written it on this whiteboard with a lovely drawing of a car that Lisa's done, which I think you'll find is quite worthy of some kind of Banksy art prize, if you like. Anyway, so this is the front of the car here, and we know that the front of the car and the near side of the car have had accident repair damage done. So you can see that the numbers on this side are a lot higher than the numbers on this side. Now this side is the original paint, which is the off side of the car, the driver's side of the car and the rear of the car. And the new paint is obviously a lot higher. So this number is what we measure the depth of the paint in. I would expect on a car of this age for it to be around about 80, 90, 110. It's a little bit lower on the driver's side door and on the rear of the car in different parts as well, it's a little bit lower. but going over to the side where it's been repaired, you can see that the paint is a lot thicker and a lot harder. And as we showed you, it's a different type of paint on that side because it's a lot harder, because the swirls are like straight line swirls, whereas on the original paint side, they're more of a curved line swirl. So that's also how we can tell difference in the paint. Hi guys, a little update on the Porsche. So yesterday I started off this wing here. I started off by using this Menzerna Super Finish, which is a really light cut and a high gloss, just because I was a little bit concerned with the fragility of the paint. But it turns out it's not as bad as I thought. We still need to go careful. So what we're using now is this one, which is specifically for older cars with older, drier paint. It's a Menzerna medium cut 2400, and you can feel when you're using this, you can feel that it's got extra lubrication in it, extra moisture in it, which lets it glide over the paint a lot easier, stops it from heating up a lot more. And yeah, but you can still tell when the paint, like if you've got really dry hands on a cold day and you put moisturiser on your hands and it just kind of sucks into your skin. When you're putting it on this and you do a couple of passes with the machine polisher, it does exactly the same thing because the paint is so dry. So it's just bringing that moisture in and sucking it back in again. So yeah, we've done this wing. Just got to refine it a little bit more, and we've also done the rear end here. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. To give you an idea of the difference, if we come over to the door, so that's what the door is untreated at the moment, and then we'll come over to the rear wing. There are still imperfections in there, but they are a lot less than they were, and they are quite deep though, some of those scratches. All this here is all stone chips. We're not going to be dealing with those. But yeah, it's not too bad at all. Coming up nice. So once we've done that, what I'm going to do is just go over it with Menzerna 3800 Super Finish Plus Show Car Finish. So this is going to give it that extra gloss and that extra shine before we put a ceramic over the top. Right, so the original paint has been corrected, just needs a little bit of refining with microcut and a final gloss up, which we're going to do later on. This is new paint on this side, and as we said earlier, with the new paint, it looks quite hard, and it is very hard. The numbers show it that we showed you earlier, very, very high numbers, so it's quite thick, quite hard. So what I'm happy to do, I moved from using a really, really soft pad and a soft compound on the original paint, and now on this paint, I'm having to go with a wall pad and a heavy cut initially to get through the defects and get the defects ironed out, and then we'll refine it back after that with a medium and then a soft cut. So if you want to come and have a look at the bonnet, so this is what we've not touched yet, and I've just done a heavy cut on this part. So there are a couple of deeper scratches that are quite fingernail deep, but that's the result we're getting at the moment. Okay, so that's the Porsche done. Don't get me wrong, it is not 100% perfect, but it is 30-year-old paint that we're working with, and the other side that had been resprayed was extremely hard, extremely thick. So I would say we have got probably about 80 to 90% of all the defects out of that car. So there are parts of it that still have defects within it, but because of the age of the car, the type of the paint, etc., the bumpers, for example, are very, very soft. So I couldn't really go too heavy on those. We was getting some paint transfer onto the pad with the original paint. So again, it's very, very difficult to go any deeper than just where I've been to. So I think you'll agree though, she's come up very, very nicely. And she's got now a 5-year ceramic from Carbon Collective Molecule. 5-year ceramic with a 9H hardness and scratch resistance on all the paint, all the trim, bumpers. Glass has got a 6 to 12 month. Alloys have got a 12-month ceramic. But she looks a lot better than she did when she first came in 3 days ago, with those millions of swirls and scratches all over the car. She's got more gloss. She's got, like I say, probably 80 to 90% of the defects have gone. Yeah, there she is.